In Week 7's module, the directions for the character analysis essay are given to you. Once you click on the link to see the setup of what it is that you're going to do for the character analysis essay, you'll see the directions are mapped out for you to tell you specifically what each one of the body paragraphs is going to include. You're going to write your character analysis essay first before you incorporate any outside research information into the paper. You will cite the play itself, but you will not cite the outside information until after you've written the character analysis draft. The character analysis itself is going to be a 5-paragraph essay, and it's going to start out at 750 total words. By the time you get to the actual final paper itself, the final literary paper that is explained to you in Week 9's module, by the time you get to that particular essay, you'll be able to know the specifics about the point value of what it is that's going to need to be included in the final paper. That information can actually be found on your syllabus. The final literary paper is going to be 1,000 to 1,100 words in total, plus the works cited page. Now, when you look at the character analysis draft, what it is that you're going to have to do, you're going to set the paper up in the same exact format that we used on the research proposal, where you're going to have a heading up at the top, and I've given you a sample paper down here at the bottom where you're going to have the name, class, instructor, and the date, and then the title is going to simply be a character analysis of whichever character you choose. You've read 2 plays throughout the course of the semester, and you're going to pick one character from one play to write your character analysis on. You do not write 2 separate characters. You just choose one character from one play. You pick which one that you feel most comfortable writing about. Paragraph 1 is going to give some brief information about the author, a brief summary of the story, and then include a thesis statement. Do not look up any information. Just you basically go through and summarize what it is that you know about the story, what the book tells you a little bit about the author. You don't have to cite anything, whatever. You just kind of give a brief overview, and then you give your opinion of the character without using the word I, because this is only going to be written in third person. You'll underline your thesis statement. Paragraph 2, you'll tell what the character's important traits are, and I put here traits are things such as being honorable, friendly, courageous, courteous, etc., based upon what the character says and does, what it is that the character's actions say about that character's traits, based upon the way that the character interacts with other people. You'll have at least 2 direct quotes taken from the story that you're going to cite within this paragraph to show what the character's important traits are. Do not put the quotes back to back. You need to follow what is called the claim data warrant format, where you actually make the claim, you make your statement, you give your support from the story, and then you explain how the actual quote fits the claim that you made. That's the warrant. Paragraph 3, you're going to tell what the character's important traits are by referring to what other characters say and do, and this is the way that other people react to this character. And you're going to have 2 direct quotes from the story in paragraph 3. And then paragraph 4 will tell step by step how the character changes as a result of both internal and external forces throughout the course of the play. And then you're going to use 2 quotes to support your information. I put here, do not put 2 quotes back to back in any of these body paragraphs. And some students have told me before, well, what if the character doesn't change? Then in this paragraph, you're going to kind of tell how those changes didn't take place, how the character is the same at the beginning as he or she is at the end. And then paragraph 5 is going to go through and explain your opinion of whether you think that the actual character is believable. Don't use any first or second person pronouns throughout the course of this paper. You can use first or second person pronouns as long as they are in direct quotes, because if it's a direct quote, you're not going to change it. But do not use any first or second person pronouns in any part of this that you actually write. I've given you some information here on how to cite quotations from the story. You'll notice here that this is the author's name and the page number. Short quotes, long quotes, etc., different examples that you can have. And then I put here to use your textbook to show you how to set up quotations. There is a section in your textbook in the Norton Field Guide that goes through and shows you how to quote something. Follow that very carefully. Your paper for this draft is going to have to be 750 words in length. Each quote has to be different, and you must have an author's name and a page number. You're not just summarizing the plot of the story, you're actually following the format of what these separate paragraphs are all about. You need to have at least 7 to 9 sentences in the 5 paragraphs, and try to be consistent with your verb tense. Most of the time, literature is always written in the present tense. For this draft that you're going to write, you're going to have a work cited, and notice there's no S because this is only one work that you're citing, and you're going to actually cite the play. In the Norton Field Guide, it goes through and it shows you how to cite a story or a play within an anthology by the author's last name, comma, first name, the name of the play itself, the name of the textbook which it came from, editors, and then the 2 editors' names in order, the edition, place, colon, publisher, comma, year, the fact that it's a print copy because you had a textbook, and then the page numbers that it comes from. Chapter 50 goes through and shows you this example up here at the top, and I put a note here to remind you that play titles and book titles are italicized, no quotation marks or underlining. And then you can go through and you can actually read this example paper that deals with a character named Okonkwo from Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. You can see that you have the introduction here leading into the underlined thesis statement. You see that there are 2 cited quotations that are separate from each other and divided up. There is a topic sentence and there's a closing sentence that's original, and then there are original sentences in the middle. And then, of course, you have the works cited page, and then some stipulations here on that. I do want to show you, whenever you're looking at a literary research paper, whenever it comes time to actually get to the final paper itself, the play is going to be cited as one of the sources, but the other 3 pieces of information that you will insert into the paper after you've written this draft are going to be listed as part of the works cited page on the final paper. You will go through, and this is not a character analysis here, but you'll go through and do what we did on the original argument research paper, where you're going to highlight each one of the sources once to show that they've been used throughout the course of the paper, and the sources that are highlighted here are going to be the same sources that match the bottom of the paper that is listed here.